All right, guys, so this is going to be a quick little description of how to complete the informational graphic organizer. Okay? Title of the text. If you need to shorten it, that's fine. You just put it right here, and your name right here. You don't even really need to put your name because when you submit the document, it's going to tell me who it's from. But this is on paper, so generally I have people write their names. And then go ahead and we're going to move through it. First little box right here lists the 3 key points from the text in chronological order. You use these points to determine the central idea of the text, okay? So really these are just summaries, really quick summaries. Try to write in complete sentences, okay, because that's what I expect from you guys. But just 3 things that you think are most important from the text, okay? And then based off of what the 3 key points are, that's going to come here to the central idea, okay? Central idea is essentially just theme, but it's for informational texts. So when you're thinking about central idea, those one-word things pop up in your head, right? Things like dedication, loyalty, trust. Those are not themes, okay? Those are not central ideas. Those are topics or subjects, okay? When you're thinking about central idea or when you're thinking about theme, what are those one-word topics? How are they being talked about? Okay, what are we saying about those? So instead of saying trust, we could say something instead like, trust is always needed amongst friends. For loyalty, loyalty to one's family is more important than loyalty to oneself. You know, what are we saying about those one-word topics? Okay, so these 3 key points are going to help lead you to what is the main focus of the text and what is being said about that main focus, okay? Then we're going to jump down here to this section right here before we move over here. What is the main argument of the text, aka what claim are they making? This is a little bit different than central idea, okay? Argument is the side that they are taking, okay? So where this is generally supposed to be an unbiased thing, this is talking about their bias, okay? So if we're talking about, for instance, healthcare, okay? Maybe their opinion is that people under 30 should not be required to purchase healthcare. That's their main argument, okay? Their central idea is that maybe young adults should be able to decide for themselves, okay? Right? So it's a little bit more general than this. This is much more specific. This is much more general, okay? The specific argument that they're making is that people under 30 should be able to decide if they want to purchase healthcare. Up here, we're just saying that young adults should be able to make their own decisions, right? A little bit more general, more specific. Okay, so then cite 2 examples that they're using to support that claim, okay? That's just going into the text and finding a quote. Over here, this is where what we talked about in the, or what you guys took notes on in the author's purpose and rhetoric Prezi is going to come into play, okay? The only thing that we haven't really talked about is race. It might be something that you've seen before, but race is restate, answer, cite, explain. It's just the general format of how we compose a short answer paragraph that sort of checks off all the boxes on like your NCFEs, your EOCs, or your EOGs. When they ask you a question, if you are able to restate that question and answer it, plus cite evidence and explain how that evidence supports your answer, then you have effectively looked at the question in a whole, okay? So specifically, in these 2, we're going to be looking at those rhetorical appeals. So the first one is building ethos. How is the speaker or author trying to build credibility, okay? So are they using the word we? And if so, how are they using the word we? Did they use expert testimony? Did they use celebrity endorsement? Are they trying to appeal to your sense of right and wrong? What are they doing to convince you that you should listen to them? Okay? How are they building that credibility? Use the race to respond, okay? So you would say something like, the speaker builds ethos through their use of ... right? Restate and answer are going to be one sentence together. Then you're going to move on to cite, okay? So cite is saying something like, in the text they state, comma, quotations, right? And then explain. This supports this answer by ... or because ... If you are able to do that, then you've proven to me that you've looked at the question, you've looked at the text, and you can support what you're saying with evidence, okay? And then you're also able to explain to me how that proves your answer, right? So it is a great way to make sure you hit all those checks, okay? Then down here, pathos and logos, these are generally, sometimes in a longer speech or in a longer article, there's going to be use of both. But generally for this section, we're going to focus on which one is most present. So if they use a lot more facts and data, you're going to say that logos is established more in the text, or if they use more emotional appeal, then it's going to be pathos. But again, we're going to use that restate, answer, cite, explain, race format. Okay, and then this one below is a little bit easier. What is the author's purpose for writing the text? You're going to use that PIDE acronym. Is it persuasive, informative? Is it meant to entertain, express, or is it descriptive, right? And you need to make sure you indicate which one you're explaining, okay? Again, use complete sentences, but you do not have to use race for that, okay? If you have any questions about this, please send me an email. I try to make it as self-explanatory as I can, but I felt like it was important to go over race with you guys and to go over this little section on ethos, pathos, and logos, okay? All right, thank you guys.